Seahorn.
Here.
And Tyler Smith.
Here.
We are going into closed session to discuss Personnel Government Code Sections 54957 in conference with legal counsel anticipated or existing litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9. We are going to close at this time.
Oh, it's already been loaded up or whatever?
No, I have that just.
Oh, that's,
Yeah. What time? What is your?
like the minus state in there, that we just done that. Yes.
That also could be legal. You don't show something.
I think we'll see that password, so.
Yeah, like I said, that also could be hacked here. Okay. Those are the things. When there's a sender and a receiver, it's really easy to.
Yeah, I don't mind. That's what we do. I mean, I've always had two sets. I've always had a seal of paper there to remind me. And then one meeting, we have a new person running the meeting.
Yes.
It's always on the thing. I mean, this is worse than I ever thought of. I couldn't imagine being able to do that.
Oh, here it is. Jim is great.
Oh my.
I know, that's what I always say.
As I told Bonnie, it has all the food groups.
Yeah.
So, as a board, well, that one, I like that sign on. So, I know I have something to do with baseball. I think, I can make it anything you want. I could just set it to change me and have them change it anytime. Or
Put it, Jamie rules, the Dodgers are great. What to add? Oh, it's, yes. We've been holding out on you, Jamie. There's all kinds of good stuff. Why?
this.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the Orville Union High School District Board of Trustees meeting. Results of closed session, there weren't any. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
And pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda variance. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public hearing. I will introduce the item, the semi-annual review of the COVID-19 prevention program, CPP. This is now open for the public discussion. Anyone have any comments? Okay, that item is now closed. Board discussion. Does the board have any comments?
Yes.
COVID prevention. COVID prevention.
Oh, no.
No comments? All right, that item is now closed. Recognitions, presentations, principals report on enrollment, first day of school, and introduction of new teachers. Who wants to go first?
Thank you for having us tonight. It was a great first day of school. Our classes at OHS have run very smoothly today. We have 79 students on campus, 129 at independent study. We have 9 college connection kids. Student feedback from the first day of school, they're very excited to be back. Positive smiles all around, great feedback from teachers. And kids are really great. So that's good. Students appreciated all the different activities and discussing social contracts in class. Additionally, I pulled our AP test data this summer. We have, at Orville High, we have 4 AP scholars, 2 with distinction. So we have Alyssa Cervantes and Lacey Strickland, our AP scholars, and then with distinction, Jaden King and Cheyenne Neal. So additionally, for our master schedule this year, we have 12 new or reintroduced classes. We also have several new employees. First off, I do want to give a big thank you to my Link Crew leaders and their advisors, Ms. Diana Castillo and Mr. Tom Frazier, for organizing freshman orientation. It was awesome. They said it ran super smooth, and it was really nice to see all the kids on campus. So my new employees, this is Mr. Doug Criddle, who's my new assistant principal.
Okay.
Also joining us, we have Jess Hewitt as counselor, Dan Favela, Spanish, Buster Husa for social studies, Jessa McCarty, English, Chan Saturn for social studies, Nicole Gonzalez, our new chemistry teacher, Jana Chavez, math. We have Faith McFadden joining us as a 3rd targeted case manager. Amber Cash has taken over our registrar position, and then Sean Montefiore is our new active teacher. We at OUHSD want to say a big thank you for all the work that maintenance and operations put in to our campus this year. So thank you to Jim and Billy Cash and Johnny Bradford for getting our campus spruced up. One of the biggest projects was clearing out Q7 and 8, which were storage rooms for the past several years. They are now full functioning classrooms, and they will be used for PE, holding the advisory class. All our sports are getting kicked off. Our volleyball team won the first match yesterday. So great start to the season. Our football has their first scrimmage on Saturday, 9 a.m. So hopefully it won't be too hot in Hamilton City. Tennis starts next week. Swimming started practice today with their first meet on August 30th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, did you say you had 779 kids in school today?
Yes,
What is the actual enrollment?
that's the actual, those were the students enrolled on campus.
Okay, thank you.
Is one of your new teachers here?
Yes, Mr. Munchapering, Sean Munchapering, our new active teacher, is in attendance tonight.
Welcome.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.
So I've been, is this on? Is this thing on? I've been filling in at LP, and in the short amount of time that I've been there, I've been working very closely with both Mike and Shauna. Shauna comes from a little town in the along the coasts, Point Arena, and she served in other places prior to that, but you know now she's at LP and part of our family, so all that stuff kind of goes away. Mike, he's comes from Live Oak. He served a long time with distinction. You know, when you call folks, you hear very good things about him. Everything else he's done kind of goes away because he's in family now. These two are very hard workers. They're excellent selections. I've got to see them up close, and you are going to be pleased with what you get from these two.
Welcome.
Happy to be aboard and had a great first day at Las Plumas. We kind of split what we're going to talk about. So enrollment, there was 1,326 students there today. And we would like to thank maintenance and everybody involved in the culinary classroom with the counters. They're fantastic. The marquee in front of the school makes reading things much easier and getting information out. The new trash cans with the logos. There was hardly any trash over campus today, a couple pieces, and everybody was using them. So they worked out really well. And the student store has a ton of new LP swag. We're hoping to sell a lot of it. I'll let Mike finish up.
Yeah, first off, thank you very much. I'm super excited to be here and been very welcomed by everyone, by kids and teachers. And I haven't met a lot of parents, but this morning I did when they were coming in. So it's just been a great feeling and I'm just happy to be here and thankful for the opportunity. First off, we had freshman orientation last Friday, and the advisor said it was probably one of the best ones they've had. The freshmen were in line and listening and engaged, and when they went out with their kids, with the groups, with their leaders, they're engaged in some of the things they were doing. So they're really excited about that. It was encouraging to hear that. We had our senior sunset this morning at the band. I wasn't able to go. I completely forgot I was going to go. I'm kind of disappointed I wasn't able to get there, but I've heard that it was well attended. We do have a lot of new staff, including us, obviously. We didn't get all their names down, but it's almost 15, I think. I don't have the exact number. And then just today was amazing. It was a great day. You know, some of the changes and things going on, we weren't sure what was going to happen. And kids were amazing. Teachers were, you know, out of the doors greeting kids, and it was just great to see. Some of the board members were on campus, which was great to see you guys there, and I appreciate that, taking an interest in our school. Last week, so sports, last week we had, I think it was Friday, there's a volleyball jamboree where Allie Bruce put on a great, it was kind of, I think there's 6, maybe even 8 schools that were there. They're all playing at the same time. There's 3 courts going on at the same time. So that was really cool to see that. And sports are in full swing. I think our scrimmage tonight, volleyball scrimmaging, football scrimmaging this week. We got a volleyball game this weekend. So we're going for it. A lot of stuff going on, and we're excited to be here. So, thank you.
Did you when you were at PV, did you ever lose to LP or Waldo in basketball?
I hope not. not because.
Well, I hope you did. That's one of the hiring requirements.
That's right. Absolutely.
I just hope I wouldn't have lost, but if I did, I would hope that it wasn't.
I'll check Max Preps, and I get back to you, and then we'll. So no fewer than 3 teachers and staff members walked up to me today to let me know how efficient and well run the opening of school went, and that is in no small part due to these two making it happen this morning. It started early. Not everything was in place. We got everything in place. We got everything that the students were going to need. All the parents who needed to be served, they got served, and in such a way that the teachers came and are really complimentary of this morning. So thank you too.
I will just add, there was, a lot of changes in our schedule, and so our counseling department did a great job. It seemed a little chaotic, a lot of changes going on, but they were efficient in getting things figured out by first or second period. So it was great to see. So thank you for that.
We were there today. I was there with Susan, and we had a great time. I mean, all the classes were so respectful, and the teachers, and everyone's really excited. Oh,
So we super thankful for that opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the next principal here could very easily be swapping places with me and introducing me at the podium. He is someone who's who's got a very long resume, deep leadership experience. He's been around lots of places, from great big school districts and large schools to very small rural areas, even smaller than Oroville. He served as a vice principal and as a director of HR for Sequoia Schools, which serves from Ukiah to Oroville down to Sacramento. He was doubling up at the time, and he thought enough of Oroville to make his way here to help us serve the kids over at Prospect. So this is Brian Spears.
Thank you, Superintendent Brown, trustees. Wonderful to see you today, Ms. King. Thank you.
Very
Susan,
nice.
thank
Your
you so
school
much.
also, the kids were sitting in their classes, listening, respectful.
Thank you very much. And John, I thank you also for coming out. I appreciate it immensely. And the staff immediately noted it, like, we've never seen that many in one day. So I commend you. It means a
Well,
lot.
we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Well, and it worked, and they're very appreciative of it. So
Yeah.
thank you to all. Once again, my name is Brian Spears. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. We have 67 students that are physically enrolled, if you will, not attending CIS. 54 attended.
How many again?
54 attended today. We had 81% today on the first day. So with the previous chronic absenteeism rates, not saying I'll be able to maintain that over the course of 180 days, but we would have had about an 80% flip today. 93% was the chronic absenteeism rate a year and a half ago. So I would like to attribute that to the social media presence. We are on Instagram at Prospect HS, OUHSD. People enjoy it very much so. We use the Parent Square. Thank you for the access to that software. It's fantastic. And Mark Conway, New Universal. Okay. Sue Chang, who's not with us this evening, but is now the teacher at the community day school. Seamless day. Seamless. It was just wonderful. I want to say thank you so very much to classified staff, both at the district office, classified management, and certificated as well. I just can't think. Jamie, Rhonda, just stellar. Susan's, the business office, the services booklet, which I mentioned today, it helps. It helps streamline things immensely. It's been a pleasure. I wish I could share more with you, but it was seamless today. Everybody seems to be pretty happy. The climate was fantastic. It takes a little bit longer to get the read on the culture when you're meeting new people, working with the child development people right next to us, and spoke to John today at length, as much as we possibly could, about developing maybe a program that would allow the students to get some intern experience working with the children, since it's literally 20 feet from our office. So we think that'd be a good start as well. But it's fantastic, and I thank you, because it's nice to be able to pick up the phone and have someone pick it up when you need help. And the responsiveness is superior. So thank you so very much, Charlie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Recognition of individuals who wish to speak on non-agenda items. Anyone else? Okay. Your name and
Hi, my name's Alicia Walker. I'm a mom of two kids at Orville High. Nolan Walker, he's a sophomore, He appreciated you guys coming today. He mentioned it actually when I picked him up that there were board members and that you had came. And he didn't know your name, but I put two and two together. He said the lady that handles the money. So I appreciate you guys going and showing your dedication to our students. I am here as a SPED parent. Just wanted to voice my concern that you guys are struggling to hire SPED teachers, and you've been posting it since March, and you've been renewing it. And if you don't notice, when you renew it, it actually goes to the bottom of your list. So it's not really at the top. It doesn't look as important to me because it looks like, man, you've been posting it for a really long time. So maybe after the first or second or third repost, maybe we should think about incentivizing the position, adding a bonus, doing something. It's a little late in the game because people already have positions. So the teachers you're getting now are going to be, I don't know, but you might have been able to intend to get people to come here if in April or May you said, man, let's add a $5,000 bonus. Maybe these people would switch in the summer from other schools. And the reason I bring this up is 11 days before school, I got a call that you wouldn't have SPED teachers to support my kid at Orville, and you wanted him to switch to LP. And if you wanted him to stay at Orville, I was agreeing to reduce his services. So I feel like if those conversations are happening with your students, and those parents are agreeing to reduce services, you guys are up for a big problem. You guys are going to have to work something out. These kids deserve the services that they are required to get through their IEPs. And I will say, we came to a conclusion. Mr. Cooney stepped up. He's going to co-teach the class. I'm very happy. My son gets to stay at Orville. But had that not happened, and I would have just said, okay, reduce the services. If a lot of kids are doing that, you got a problem. So you're going to have to figure something out to get people to come here. I'm a little scared. It's like everyone's leaving that is good, and we're getting a lot of new people. So I hope this is a move in the right direction, but it's nerve-wracking as a parent to sit here and see so many new faces and so many names that you knew were great be gone. Like, oh, what happened to her? Oh, she left. What happened to Mr. Reed? Oh, he left. It's like, what happened? 2 years. My kids have had, this will be my last thing I say, the counselors they've had for all the time they've been at Orville, both are gone. And they were both great. The last guy was really great. I don't know, maybe they found better jobs. But something just seems odd that so many people come and leave. So I hope that we're addressing that. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else on a non-agenda item? Okay. Recognition of individuals who wish to speak on agenda items. Okay. Board comments.
Yeah, just that I thought the kickoff breakfast Monday morning was outstanding. Met lots of new people. Got to meet all these new administrators between Monday and today, and I really enjoyed that. And welcome you all here. It was wonderful. It was just a really great time, and I enjoyed today, except for this bloody heat. And I don't know if this is the proper time or not, but it's. Can you fill us in a little bit on the note you sent us a couple of weeks ago? Can you just give us some background? And I'm asking mainly because there are trustees involved. Your superintendent's council.
Oh, absolutely. So Superintendent's Council is an opportunity for employees to come and be heard, to share their thoughts and ideas on how we can make things better. One of the things that I heard, one of the concerns was that people would like more time, more opportunities to meet with board members or leadership, or superintendent, more, paths of communication. And so you'll see that we also have what we call solutions, which has union leadership, CSEA, OSTA, and the district leaders in the room at the same time. And here's an opportunity for employees, not union leadership, to come and have the equal opportunity to talk about ideas, suggestions, concerns, just ways that we can make it better. They can speak directly to power in an open session about how we can be better for everybody. So what the plan is to do it about 5 times, and that was a random number thought up because there's 5 of you. If we find that we need to do more because we're really getting work done, then great. If we find that we need to do it quarterly or less because we have enough methods of communication, then we'll pare it down. But that superintendent's council, I think, is going to be a real effective way for people to come and to be heard.
Okay, and teacher, I mean, all members just submit names? They can
Yes.
submit their name if they want to serve?
Yes.
What if you get more than 12 to 15? How do you select?
Right now we have 16. I'll accept them. If we get 20, I'll accept them.
You're going to keep it no matter how big it gets?
No. Right now we have 16. So I'm thinking if we get a few more names and it gets to 20, then that'll be fine. You know, I like to joke that if I could get 200 in a room, that would be the best way, because then you make sure everybody can be heard, but that's too unwieldy. So you pare it down to a number that works. 12 to 15 is about the right size for a committee to be effective.
And you have 16 names now?
Yes.
And a pretty good cross section?
Absolutely. Yes. Classified, certificated, the comprehensive schools, the alt-ed schools, ATC is represented, you know, the whole deal. You know, we want to make sure that everybody, and the folks who can't make it, you know, we get it. People have lives outside of me in this district. They can talk to their friends, you know, communicate to your friends. You can be represented by your colleague who is coming to this meeting. So you get a voice. If you can't, and I'd like to repeat that. If you don't have a voice, get a friend. Tell a friend and come. If you and your friend don't have a voice, call your union rep. And if then you find a way to get that information to us so that we can make informed decisions and make this place as good as it can be for everybody.
Okay, and down at the bottom here, it says, it's got dates and then board number 1, board number 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes.
Help me with that.
You are correct. I didn't bring up before because it was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I haven't assigned it. And we haven't really spent a lot of time talking about who board member 1, 2, even if that's possible. There's been there's been another suggestion that we have one board member come to all and then rotate the other 4 through. It's also an idea to have one of each of you meet at one of the meetings. That's really why it was 5.
Our role would be
to come and listen, sit and listen. And then when you make decisions or when the committee group is having a discussion, then you'll have an informed perspective to bring to that discussion and to that ultimate decision that you make.
Thank you.
You got it.
Any other board comments? Okay. Ms. Brown, superintendent comments.
I had the time of my life today. It's, I'm kind of splitting between responsibilities here at the district office and helping out over at LP. But I took some time, broke away and visited Prospect on Warville to see how well things are going. And it's impressive. I've been to school districts all over the place and I've seen these things work. And the teams, the machinations of the teams made for a really good start of the year at every one of our stops. I got to see up close because I started my day early at LP. They watching the teams work together to figure out and solve problems that they didn't realize they had when they began. It's really encouraging to me to watch how well our teams work together. I got to Orville was the last stop, and by the time I got there, it was completely silent because most kids were in class. The kids who I did run into in the passing period were really, really polite, really nice, just good kids. I went to and I visited almost every class at Orville, every classroom at Orville. I've visited, I think, every class at Prospect and had some real good conversation. You know, in a small campus, you get the same amount of time at Orville and Prospect. You get a little more personal experience at Prospect. And I just walked away feeling really good about the work that we're doing for these kids in this community. I wanted to also, since I see Sam in the room, the yearbooks that you have next to you, that's her work, her class. They came together, her generosity. She really wanted to share the great things that are happening over at Orville. I think a month or 2 ago, we shared the yearbook from LP. And I hope you really enjoyed those. And in just the same way, I hope you enjoy the yearbooks from Orville. Thanks, Sam. Oh, I can go on. I went to Oroville orientation, the link crew training at both Oroville and Prospect, and not Prospect, but LP went really well. I had a chance to mingle with the kids more at Oroville because I had a training there than over at LP. But the experience left me feeling uplifted. I got to see the freshman class and all. We mentioned Keely and I think Kimberly because they are the spearheads over at LP. But when you go and see orientation, it looked like it was just as many staff as it was students. It was a lot of people involved in making that thing work. At Oroville, I'm sure it was the exact same way. And when I got there, they were no longer in the gym at Oroville. They had already dispersed into classrooms. But things are just, and I had time to talk to Coach, to Tom, and to Diana, and both of those two really leave. They always make me feel like I'm in the right place, it's an unbelievable thing. I tell everyone, I think I'm living my dream. I think that the right place, right time, right people, we're really going to make it happen for you, and not just you, but the Oroville community. Now I will stop.
I'm waiting for that breath. Dr. Watts.
So once the state approves its budget, we have 45 days to identify the changes that we're going to have to make in our budget related to the changes in the state budget. So for our LCFF revenue, the state adopted an 8.22% COLA. We had already budgeted for that. I just wanted to let you know that that was the final number. We're not going to have to make a revision for that. They added something new called an equity multiplier, which is very complicated, and we don't even calculate it. The state calculates for us, but it's not based on socioeconomically disadvantaged rates. Prospect High School was our only school identified to receive that money. It's about $118,000. They have to get stakeholder input and come up with a plan on spending that. Proposition 28 funds, these are the arts and music instruction grants. And we had not put in an allocation. We hadn't put it in the budget because we didn't really know what our allocation was. It's estimated that we'll receive $405,000. That's split up among our 4 sites because it includes Community Day. Each school has to come up with their own plan on how they're going to spend it. 80% has to be spent on staffing. We also had arts and music instructional discretionary block grant, which we had developed and you had approved a plan for. Over from the May revise, or all the way from the state budget, there were estimates. The state took some of that money back to balance their budget. This was a grant from the prior year, and we hadn't spent ours. And so, which is a good thing because some districts had. And so once the state took money back, they had a shortfall. But we were able to, there were a lot of estimates. We had gone with the last estimate where they were going to take back 50% of the funds. They actually approved giving us 94.4. So we added back those things that we had taken out, mainly at the district level to balance that budget. So those will go back into the budget at the next budget revision. And then the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant is a grant. That was another one that was scheduled to have money taken back. We didn't have a plan for that yet, so we'll be working on that. So it wasn't in our budget at all, but it's estimated now that the district will receive $3.1 million for that. And it's to decrease pupil ratios, provide pupil supports, eliminate barriers to learning, things like that. And I think that's it. So those will be in the subsequent budget revision, which will probably be the first interim budget revision, unless we have something else that we need to develop before that time.
Thank you. We have next is DOJ. John, do you have some comments?
I do.
I gave you 3 documents that kind of highlights how we're going to do some things this year. First one is it's this document right here. It's called the district scorecard. This gives us a quick snapshot look at all of the different areas where we're held accountable by the state. So these are indicator numbers and some other things. I've sprinkled a couple other things in there. I'm still trying to get some of the data. Just haven't had a ton of time in the last little bit to complete this. But this gives you the picture where we've been so that we all can see where we need our work to be. We're seeing some things start to move a little bit. We improved in some things from the year before to last year. But there's some work to do. And so this is just to show where we've been. And also I'll update this every year so that we can keep track of where we're going. So you can look at that. I included all the definitions on the back side so that it explain what the numbers represent. The next thing that we've been working on is this document right here, the 23-24 OUHSD strategic priorities. This is something that I've been working on with Nicole and Shelley from Thrive. And basically, we've got our portrait of a graduate, and now what do we do with that? How do we make that our life and the thing that we're shooting for? And so we've got to identify our strategic plan with this. And so what this document represents is 3 priority focus areas that are tied directly to the 3 areas of the portrait of a graduate. So priority 1, without going into too much detail in the interest of time, priority 1 is future focused learning, which ties back to the critical thinking portion of it. Priority 2, social emotional well-being. That's the resilience in things, the reflective community members. And then priority number 3 is community strength. And under each priority, we've started, this is just to reiterate, this is a draft. We're still working on this. But under the priorities we've started identifying what this means, what this looks like, and putting some specific verbiage. And as I was talking to Shelley and Nicole, one of the things that they've been contracted to help us with this year is to look at our policies and procedures and those types of things to see if they are prohibitive or supportive of the portrait of the graduate. So this document is twofold. We're going to do 2 sides of it. One side will be working with the teachers and the department chairs and the school sites to, as you look under priority 1, there's an empty box that says, what are we already doing that supports this? So we're going to spend the year trying to identify the things we're already doing that supports this priority. And then we're going to identify something that we want to start doing that will add further support to that. And then are there things we're currently doing that aren't supporting these things that we need to do away with? And so we're going to have a lot of discussions about those things for each of these priorities. How this looks on the district side, the board side, is we'll flip those questions a little bit. Are there processes and policies that already support these? Is there something that we need to add? Are there processes and policies that are detracting from these things? And so we'll do some of that work on the policy end of things to really start identifying these things. And so that's going to be our goal this year, is to really identify those pieces that we have, that we want to start, that we want to remove or change, so that then next year we start implementing and building commitments on things that we're going to do as in teachers, administrators, board, everybody. We'll start building commitments that will go into these things to start pushing us towards that goal of our kids meeting the picture of the portrait of the graduate. So one of the things that we're going to do to start this, so that we're not just sitting here listening, in theory, is this last document. This is our 30, 60, 90, 120-day plan for all PLCs. We've rolled this out at Orville High. We're going to probably take the first cycle off at LP so they can get their feet underneath them. But what this is a structured goal-driven process. And it kind of comes, we've adapted it from the business world. In the business world, when they onboard folks, they give them a structured onboarding plan that is that has 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day markers of things they need to learn and be able to do in those times that will ultimately set them up for success in their employment. And what they found is their profitability, their productivity, and the things like that. The research shows if they go through this type of a process, the gap between the ones that do and the ones that don't is significant. And so profitability, productivity, all those things go up because they're onboarded so quickly. How we're going to make this look in our PLCs is each content area is going to come up with an overarching priority. And the basis and kind of the thought I gave them was every year we always talk about the things our kids come into us with that they lack, that they struggle with, the barriers that they face to accessing content and being successful in that. So I said, we know those things, we can predict those things, let's start doing something about them. So each content area is going to pick a priority that will hopefully work to remove a barrier or provide a skill that helps kids be more successful in accessing content. Each 30-day cycle, they'll have smaller goals and actions that will help move towards the overall priority. Each 30-day cycle will be an accountability cycle. So at the end of the first 30 days, the teams will get together. They'll analyze how well did they do, what did they win, where did they win, what success did they see, what adjustments do they need to make, and they're going to plan for the next 30 days to push them closer. The department chairs will then meet with the principals, and the principals will gather that information and provide support and feedback and help to the groups to move forward. And then I will meet with the principals to see what at the district level we can do to support them as they're moving forward. And this is, instead of 30 calendar days, it's 30 school days. And so it's school days. So on the back of it is the tentative schedule on what this is all going to look like. So we'll probably move LP's first phase. We'll probably start where phase 2 starts in October to give them some time to get settled in with all that's going on out there. So as this goes along, I'll bring some reports back to the board on how it's going. Several of the contents at Oroville have already submitted their plans. Very exciting, the things that they've identified to work on. It's the first year trying this, so it's not going to be perfect. We're going to have some bumps, and we're going to readjust and whatnot. But ultimately, as we get into this, it'll just get easier and better for those folks, and they'll be able to run faster and faster and faster. We talked about the theory of 1% changes. If all the content areas are making a 1% change, that aggregate amount of change will actually cause things to move faster. And so that's how we're starting the year. That's how we're moving through, providing a little structure to our PLC program so that we're more intentional about what we're doing so that we can really track that stuff, make adjustments, and really do what's best for kids and help our teachers analyze their craft.
How's the staff playing?
From what I tell, I mean, Kristen could probably tell a little better at her site, but when I asked if they had any questions or concerns when I rolled this out, loud and proud, Wong in the back, let's just get to it. We want to get it done. We want to get to it. We want to put this together. And then they went off and worked. Basically, really? They told me, you be quiet. We want to go off and work. So we did that. Sent them off. They started working. Most of the content areas have their plans. They're ready to roll, and they were ready to roll before day one. So
Thanks, John.
Yep.
Thank you, John.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
About the first page?
Yes.
I know we added some new programs, I think, for the AP students taking tests, and probably we got our score back I think from last year. Do you know if that seemed to be successful for those two classes? Because I know we talked about maybe adding it for another class or two.
I can analyze. I didn't break it down per class, just overall, but.
I'm just curious if that seemed to be successful, because I had heard from some students, especially in math, that they did feel that it was helpful.
Well, I'll tell you this, our math department has really, over the summer, they put in a lot of time. And we had a lot of groups put in a lot of time over the summer. Math doubled down on that. They've got some really cool things. If you ever get a chance, go watch them teach math at LP. They're kind of leading this charge, and they've got some really neat things going, and our kids are starting to feel more confident in math. And so ultimately those math scores are they're gonna increase. And then we do have some ideas and stuff that we'll talk about at a later date for increasing our AP enrollment and preparing kids better for AP and honors enrollment. So.
Thank you.
Update TOJ.
Nothing new to report.
Okay. Old business, there is none. Consent calendar, recommendations for approval. So I have a motion. A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, faculty fee waiver request. Will.
So Delta Upsilon sorority, Oroville chapter is putting on their annual breast cancer awareness walk and pink pancake breakfast at Harrison Stadium on October 7th, 2023. This event has raised over $82,000 over the past 21 years, which has been donated to the California Health Collaborative Every Woman Counts program, which assists with screenings, further testing for women who qualify. The sorority has awarded scholarships to Oroville Union graduating seniors for more than 25 years. Total cost of the facility fee is $325. They will pay for the custodial time. Recommend approval.
Do I have a motion? Second.
Second.
Comments or questions?
It's an outstanding event. It's excellent.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item 15, Roberts Family Development Center.
A partnership between Roberts Family Development Center, RFDC, and Oroville Union High School District through the Parent Engagement Project will empower students, scholars, parents, staff, and wider community to actively engage and improve student achievement. Further, this collaboration responds to item 42 in the DOJ stipulated agreement. Annual parent training and ongoing workshops will be funded with LCAP and S&C funds. Recommend approval.
Have a motion? And a second? Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 16, adult meals in NSLP and SPP.
I'll be dead more. The district is requesting permission to increase the price of adult meals in order to meet minimum meal requirements of adult meals in the NSLP and SPP as defined in the U.S. Department of Agricultural Food Nutrition Services. An adult breakfast would cost $3 and an adult lunch $4.75. Recommend approval.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second? Comments or questions?
Yeah, John and I visited the food services department out at Las Plumas this morning, and Nancy Gilbert was showing us all the things they were doing and everything. She's doing a great job. That food staff, service staff is wonderful.
Thank you, Ray. That was absolutely beautiful.
We are very fortunate to have them.
Yes, I made sure to look them all in the face and tell them, because it was beautifully set up, beautifully displayed. It was outstanding today at LP. Thank you, Ray. That almost got by me.
So when it says adults, are we talking about like teachers and everyone at the school?
Correct. Teachers, visitors, staff
I
members.
think we should have a reduction for everyone at the school for the lunches and breakfast.
Yep. No one would disagree. We'd like to offer everyone a free meal,
Yes,
but we want to be compliant with the law.
and that is the law.
Yes, absolutely. And we can look it up, or we can bring Jackie down and she can
Oh, it's
walk
okay.
us.
I mean,
Yeah.
I understand. I'm just saying.
No, we 100%.
Yeah.
We agree. We agree.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Personnel assignment order. I have a motion for.
Do we have to vote on that?
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Got a motion for personal assignment. Thank you guys. Helping. Got a motion? And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The board will now go into closed session just for a few minutes. Everyone else is dismissed. I will call you tomorrow with the time that we check out. It won't be long. There will be no action taken in the closed session.
Amy, public, thank you.
Here, here. Second that.
I'll read the notes before I say that.